Four hosts, they bout to wreck shit like Marco. Addicted to the Giants like it's Netflix and Narcos. The CEO making big moves as per usual. Captain Negative calling everybody delusional. This podcast is number one. Like when you take a piss, so share the link and pass it. Like Victor making splits and Mr. Make a Wish. The sophisticated click. I spit offensive lines now. Tim can take a sip of some beer because he likes the taste of it, right? Don't forget the New York Giants beat the Patriots twice. The sickest dude eating chips and salsa like it's Victor Cruz. Win or lose, always gonna root for Big Blue. It's true, this a classic show. Tyree, catch it, bro. Play a drinking game while you listen and call it Classico. Take a couple shots. If it's funny, you can rewind to Bleed Blue. Means it's in their jeans like Levi's. Eli, man in the shit, just like a sailor. Captain, we attacking bunk rush like Lawrence Taylor. Podcast on point, the sharpest arrows. BBG stay gritty like Mark Bavaro.
Wow, we let both drops go today.
We're letting them both fly. Good evening, Bleedbigblue Nation. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat. I think we can. Ooh, it's already full up. Look at that. Love seeing the numbers go up and 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 up. Let's see. Who do we have on the phone right now? We have Tim. Say hello, Tim. Say hello to everyone.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
People miss you. I hear a lot of where's Tim.
Hey, you know, I got to take a break once in a while.
and Captain, are you there?
I'm here, buddy.
And he never takes a break.
No, he never does. He's pushing through.
You're never going to stop. No, we're never going to stop.
No. There was some more intro music coming. I don't know what happened. One guy totally flaked out, and then I had something else that I was working on that I thought was pretty funny. That could be some like a little house music-ish. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Is this a Marco original?
Hold on, let me style my hair.
Let's see. Where is it? Yeah. This is what I thought could be to some but a little house music mix. It's just the vocals. Are you ready?
Girl out house.
Here we go.
Good afternoon, Bleedbigblue Nation. Good morning, Bleedbigblue Nation. This is good evening, Bleedbigblue Nation. Good afternoon, Bleedbigblue Nation. Good afternoon, Bleedbigblue Nation. Good evening, Bleedbigblue Nation. This is Jimmy D. Good Sunday morning. Good afternoon, Bleedbigblue Nation. Good afternoon, Bleedbigblue Nation. Happy Friday. Good evening, Bleedbigblue Nation. Good afternoon, Bleedbigblue fans. Good afternoon, Bleedbigblue Nation. Good evening, Bleedbigblue Nation. This is coming to you live on Franchise Monday. Coming to you on Thursday night. Coming to you live for my 2-minute rant on a Monday morning. Let me tell you something. Coming to you live on a Friday afternoon. Coming to you on a Wednesday afternoon. Joe, coming to you on a Tuesday afternoon. coming to you on a Thursday afternoon, coming to you on a fabulous Friday afternoon, coming to you live on a Monday afternoon, coming to you on a Wednesday afternoon. I come to you on a lot of afternoons.
Hey, you know what? That's exactly why I take breaks.
Boom, 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 boom. I can hear it now.
There you go.
There you go, Internet. Have at it. Have at it with that one.
We need some beats to it.
Gentlemen,
the question of the day is, do we have a quarterback controversy right now?
No.
Okay, that's the end of the show. Thanks everyone for tuning
in.
Thanks for tuning in. Show's over.
So your take on this is just
him just talking.
Yes.
Take on it is the same as the Giants video of Danny throwing and dropping dimes when he was throwing the 4-yard check down passes to guys, to fullbacks and running backs. No, that's how serious I think Danny could be starting in week 1 comment.
I thought that was Eli Manning's highlight film from the season.
No, it wasn't. No, that was Daniel Jones in shorts and a t-shirt checking it down. You can't tell because they look alike.
Saquon all the time.
Yeah, you can't tell. You know, they look so much alike that.
Daniel Jones looks bright. You know, looks reminds me of a young Eli.
Except Eli could play when he was younger.
Oh boy. This is going to be a fun year. I like how they haven't even put on pants and we're already
well, I don't
trying to start a
The
controversy.
frustrating part is I don't think you're going to have any clue what Daniel Jones is until
year 3.
Yeah, like I don't think that you're going to have a clear picture on this kid at all this year. Like I think the over/under for him to start is 7 games, right?
Yeah,
7.5.
That's what Vegas was.
I don't see them. There's, and who knows? Because this team has done more to confuse everybody and talk against themselves than anyone else. But we heard for a whole offseason that the defense was the problem and that Eli Manning was fine. So if that's the case, and the last 2 seasons, you had young quarterbacks on your roster. And up until week 10 or 11, even when the season was going horrifically bad, you told us that there was a run in this team, that this team can win out at 1-8 or 1-9, whatever they were, right? So that leads me to believe that Eli's going to have a solid 10, 11 games before they would even consider making a move to Daniel Jones.
Well, I agree with you exactly because of that, but the main reason being if we're making the switch at week 8, that means this season's going horribly wrong. And I really can't, my heart can't take another season like that.
Wait, didn't Eli get didn't Kurt Warner get replaced around week 8?
Warner got replaced pretty damn early. I remember that.
They were winning.
The Giants were 5-2. The Giants were 5-2 that year, and they had lost 2 games in a row. They were 5-2, and then they lost 2 games in a row with Warner. And the Giants made the switch to go to Eli when the team was above 500 with a veteran roster. They were 5-4.
5-4. Yes.
So the week off.
So they were 5-4 above 500, and they went from Warner to Eli for the rest of the year, pretty much letting everybody know that they knew the team at 5-4 wasn't good enough to win a Super Bowl, and that it was more advantageous to them at that point to play Eli Manning and to have him play the last 6-7 games of the year so that they can potentially have him ready for the next season. It'll be interesting to see, now that it's Eli Manning in that spot and not a free agent like Kurt Warner, how the Giants handle that situation. Who knows?
I'm with you. Honestly, I have no real argument to that, and the fact that they actually, took Eli when they did, and they had to use him. Even though Warner was there, but Warner knew he was a stopgap. when he came in. As soon as Eli got drafted, and the fact is, this is Eli's last season. Let's be honest. Unless Eli blows it up.
I'm not going to be honest about that. I think you're on crack. I think saying that definitively after the last 2 years, right? After the last 2 years, how you can say that definitively is beyond me.
You're right. I will give the 1% of Gettleman factor.
Like what if they finish 8-8 or 9-7 and there's progress from last year and Eli has the same season as he did last year? You can't tell me you can't see them selling you a hill of fucking beans again? You can't see them selling you a hill of beans again? They've been doing it for 2 years. Everybody's been eating it.
Wait, what was it? What was that question?
If we're 9-7, I can almost take another year of Eli.
8-8, that's completely insane to me. I'd rather lose every game and let Jones play this year. Like I think you're just completely wasting.
Don't get me wrong.
You don't want to see him play at all. You don't want to see him play at all.
No, the quicker he plays, the quicker everyone realizes that he can't play, and they do something to get rid of him.
So you want to see him play?
First of all, if you're going to take the guy 6, regardless of my opinion of him, you better be ready to play him in year 1, especially nowadays. Mm-hmm. See, this isn't when Eli came into the league and 15, 20, 25 years ago. It's so stupid. The Giants aren't the Kansas City model because Kansas City was a playoff team and the Mahomes pick was a luxury.
Yeah, and same thing with Green Bay. Green Bay was a winning franchise.
Also, where did they get Mahomes?
Like 10th, 11th? So 5 picks later, it would be fine?
No, they didn't get him 5 picks later. Didn't they trade up to like 15, 16 to get him?
Yeah, I thought he was 7.
I swear he was like 11th.
No, I thought he was later than that.
Yeah, I think he was in the teens.
Whoever's out there, look up this.
Jim, if your team's set and you have a playoff team and you could afford that luxury, that's when you draft a Saquon Barkley. That's when you draft a Pat Mahomes in that situation.
But I actually beg to differ because if I'm a playoff team, the luxury pick, why wouldn't I get more talent to try to put me over the top even more instead of somebody?
Because you got Pat Mahomes. Because you got a better player at the quarterback level, which is the most important position in all of sports, and you upgraded that position, which put you in a position to now where you took a hit for maybe a season, and now you're in position to maybe compete for an AFC championship for the next 10, 11 years.
Well,
that's why you do it.
They didn't really take a hit because they were in the AFC championship.
Well, yeah, they had Alex Smith. It was a luxury.
Yeah, they're saying Mahomes was the 10th pick and Watson was the 12th pick.
All right, there you go.
I thought it was later than that. Maybe we had the
17th
pick and we had to come up to 10.
I thought it was later too.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Mahomes has, but it's not the same because to me, Daniel Jones is a third-round quarterback. So it's not the same at all. Like I don't think Jones is talented enough to be taken in the first round. Period. To me,
this is what I want to hear. This is what we heard last year with the Saquon thing. What would Daniel Jones have to do this season for you to be like, all right, we got somebody?
There's no play. He can't do anything this season. He's a rookie quarterback. For you to judge him on the first year, anything he does is completely retarded, and you shouldn't watch sports anymore.
So
if you judge a rookie quarterback, definitively off the first year,
how about this, James? How about he looks and has the year as, let's say, Sam Darnold?
I would love for him to be the highest rated quarterback in the league in December for the entire month. That would be amazing if we can do that. That would be phenomenal. Hopefully he's playing in December. But you know the reason why Sam Darnold was able to have that December? Because he went through his lumps in September, October, and November.
Mm-hmm.
So December, the game slowed down a little bit. If you don't play Daniel Jones until week 10, 11, and 12, it would be foolish for us to expect him to have the highest-rated quarterback. At that point, you're just saying, okay, Daniel, get 5 games out of the way. I don't care what they look like. Just get 5 games of experience out of the way, so hopefully the game can slow down for you next year. Well, then at that point, we're putting off the evaluation process.
In your evaluation, what's the chances that you think it's going to be him being successful versus not?
I think the best chance he has to be successful is to be a game manager. I think you're looking at I think you're looking at a little worse of a quarterback than his ceiling. I'm not saying this is where he is. I think where his ceiling can be is maybe a little. I don't think he'd be better than. I don't see him being better than Alex Smith.
Like Trent Dilfer?
Okay, let's go for it there. And actually, I think that's a great comparison. Alex Smith is a perfect comparison.
I think it's a really good. I think it's a guy that's not going to make mistakes with the football, but he's not going to get you over the top.
If we get Alex Smith out of this draft pick, I wouldn't hate it.
I would. Because Alex Smith is not a guy. Alex Smith at the one pick is a failure. He was picked first in the draft. He never lived up to it. When you're picked that high, you better be the guy that can put the team on your back and carry them. To me, the second and third round guys are the guys that become solid game managers, guys that aren't going to kill you with a horrible mistake, but aren't going to make the play to win the game either.
But you can't.
And when you take a guy at 6, you better be getting one of those guys. Can he develop into that? God, I hope so. If you take him at 6.
Mm-hmm.
I hope so. But from the film that I watched and the evaluation that I did and the guys that I listened to that know, like all of them said the same thing about Daniel Jones. Decent prospect, not very high ceiling, type of guy that's going to make decent decisions, keep the ball underneath, not going to push it down the field, doesn't really get through his progressions well. Let's hope I got my fingers crossed that he makes me look like an asshole. I hope he makes me look like an asshole because I'm sick of losing and watching bad quarterback play.
Right.
The main thing I heard with the Daniel Jones evaluations was he actually runs through his progressions well, but the problem is
Where did you hear that?
If he's mixed up between, let's put it this way, if he goes from, if the quarterback does this, then you automatically do that. But if a quarterback does something that he usually isn't supposed to do, that's what Daniel Jones messes up.
You know what I call him? Hitch. Because I've never seen a guy pat the ball and hitch more than he does in the pocket.
Hitch.
And that is trouble in the NFL.
All right, I'm gonna set you up, Tim. You ready for the setup? You gonna nail this out of the park?
Good.
Give me the quarterbacks that will be on the roster this year.
The quarterbacks that are going to be on the roster this year?
Yes.
It's going to be Eli. It's going to be Jones, and honestly,
here it is.
I know what you want me to say.
Bye-bye, Kyle.
Down the middle.
I don't think he's going to be playing quarterback. I think he's going to be playing
Kyle.
Eric Dungy.
Obviously I totally agree with you. I think they're either going to carry 2 quarterbacks, just Eli and this is final 53. This is final 53.
I think
Or
they're
Dungy
carrying.
will be taken as a special team tight end type player.
Pretty much. They're not going to use him as a quarterback spot. They'll use him in a quarterback spot if they use him like Tatum, but he's not going to take a quarterback spot on the roster. They're going to carry Jones.
Quarterback, that kind of thing.
They're going to carry Eli Jones and Tanny. Get ready for it.
And Tanny?
Mm-hmm.
You think Tanny's making the roster?
Yep. I think they're completely fucking insane. I wouldn't be surprised if Jones is inactive for the first 6 weeks.
Well, I think Leonard's going to go on IR. I'm going to call that now. He's already talking about
knee injury.
He had his knee cleaned out, but he's already talking about it's already swelling up and all this other stuff.
Don't forget about Kyle now. Don't forget about Kyle.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Another great Gettleman quote. I'm just quoting Gettleman. Don't forget about Kyle now.
Yeah, no, we forgot.
Don't forget about Kyle. He's impactful.
Yeah, well, can someone also explain Paul Perkins? Wasn't he cut?
He was cut, but they brought him back for the tryout, it sounded like. He got his number back though.
They are hitching their wagon, man. They are hitching their wagon.
You know what? I like the signing today. The Rod Smith getting signed. I actually like that signing.
You're not feeling Wayne Gallman?
No, I'm a Wayne Gallman guy, but we're gonna need more than 2 running backs. And Rod Smith's a good special team player. He can play fullback as well. So I like the Rod Smith signing. And he's a capable runner.
Well,
but watch out for Eric Dungy playing tight end.
Well, I'm worried that they're going to run Saquon to the ground, so having extra legs is not a bad thing.
Yeah, you know what? Watch for the tight end option, and he's throwing it.
I can't wait to see them try this shit. I can't wait to see them try to duplicate what the Saints are doing. I can't wait. I think it's gonna be worth the price of admission.
And
I like Dungy's a good athlete, man. He's good. I actually like him as a quarterback prospect. To be honest with you.
Oh, God Almighty!
I saw him going over the middle and cracking some dudes, jumping over him. He's
an athlete, man. He runs way more than he should as a quarterback, and that's why he's going as a quarterback.
I don't think that people realize how difficult it is to go and play college football quarterback at the college level, and then what the NFL is. I think that there is a huge disconnect to what it takes to be successful at the quarterback spot at the NFL level. And I think a lot of people, we just assume that certain guys are going to be able to step in because they put on a certain colored jersey, and they're just going to step in and be able to play that role successfully.
Yeah, a blue jersey.
There's a lot that goes into it, John.
And honestly, Daniel Jones, they said that.
Well, and it depends on the fan base, because we're not alone, right? We're not. The Giant fans aren't alone in this. There's some other fucking delusional fucking fan base right now that's waiting on a quarterback right now and they're buying everything that the team's selling them, and it's going to turn out bad. I mean, it happens.
Washington Redskins.
I don't think that one is the one. I think the Redskins got themselves a player, my friend. The Redskins got themselves a fucking
two players is the problem.
Yeah, man. I think the Redskins got themselves a player. But I mean, it's not an easy thing to do, gentlemen, to step up and play that position. And like, even the guy that for the Saints, Hill, that comes in and plays that role, like that wasn't like done overnight. Like that was a progression over time, how they've used him. So like this Syracuse kid is a nice option, but like let's not think that this is going to be some dynamic, huge part of our. It's a gimmick.
No. It's something to get excited about.
Well,
we're not putting them in the.
But to me, like, I can't be excited about, like, I'm excited about a gimmick if we have a team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if the offense is successfully moving the ball up and down the field and you're consistently scoring and converting third downs, then to have that gimmick and to have that play and to have that option is awesome. Okay. But when, if it turns out anything like we've watched over the last 2 years to start the season, okay, I'm sorry, I'm not excited because they have a quarterback that can slash as a tight end and give them a couple of trick plays that may or may not work. Like it's hard for me to get excited about that shit because I don't know that equates to winning football games. I think that helps you.
Absolutely not. It's just
right. But I mean, I can't get excited about that shit. I want to get excited about my fucking quarterback, not the fourth string quarterback who may second as a tight end.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now what I am excited about is our secondary compared to last year is 100 times better.
Oh boy, here we go.
And I know you're a poo-poo on it.
No, I actually
like the players,
player.
but I'm not anointing anyone because I haven't seen these kids play at an NFL level yet. Like, I like Baker, and I like Love, and I like Valentine. I like the guys that they drafted, but I haven't seen them play in the NFL yet. I don't know if they can cover on the NFL level yet. Like, it's difficult. Right? First of all, there's certain positions to come into the league that are very easy transition from college football. Running back being one of them, right? Some of the more difficult positions, right? Guard. You see guards come in and they play right away. Like, you could plug this. He's a day one starter at guard, right? Like, there's certain guys that you can that can come in and contribute day one. Certain guys at certain more difficult positions are that talented where they can do that. But usually, it takes time. It's not right. So to think that, and cornerback is one of those positions like wide receiver where there's a transition, right? But like Baker, I love Baker. I love his attitude. I love the way he covers. I love how he wants to be on an island. Would I be surprised if Baker struggled in his rookie season? No. Does that mean that I think he's going to be a horrible player down the line? No. But I'm not expecting Baker to come in and be. I think you'd be foolish to say that, okay, these guys are coming in and now we're 100 times better.
Well,
like,
I'm not saying
I don't know that
but
yet.
I'll tell you right now. But if you look at the guys that they're replacing, I don't care what Baker does. He's going to be better.
Be better than them here.
I hope so. I hope so.
So Tim, you're hoping.
That doesn't mean that. But those guys were so fucking. Guys, those guys were so fucking bad. Okay, even an upgrade isn't necessarily good enough to get you a W, right? So we've upgraded talent-wise. We've upgraded talent-wise.
A lot, right? Well, how many close games did we have last year? A lot.
You lost. I don't want to hear about. I really don't want to hear about how many close games we had. We lost.
My point being is
1-8.
If the secondary was a little bit better.
If the offense was a little bit better, they wouldn't have started 1-8.
If we could
beat anyone besides the backup quarterback,
we would have had a better record also.
Okay, so let's not talk about that shit. All right, like they lost a lot of close games. Well, yeah, they lost a lot of close games, but they weren't very good. And if the offense would have scored in the beginning of the season, maybe they wouldn't have started 1-7, 1-8, which they did because they were awful. Because Eli couldn't hit fucking the side of a barn. All right. So yeah, we like these kids at prospects, but to think that they're going to come in and be locked down on day one.
Did you watch the Philly game?
Several times on my Wii.
He burnt that game out of his memory. I replaced that game on my hard drive with 3 drives from the Senior Bowl. So I no longer have to reference that game anymore?
Yeah, no more. No bueno. No bueno.
Oh my God! I just want him to work out. I can't believe they still took him, man.
I can't believe we took Jones when we did. Do I believe we took Jones? Yes. I think we all talked about it all the way going up through the off season, even during the season. Oh, I knew Jones was going to be one of those guys we considered, without a doubt.
We were the only team that considered him.
I must say, Tim was like, "What about Jones from Duke?" And I was like, "Tim, no one takes a quarterback from Duke."
No, we were the only team that considered him. Like, I don't. Oh, God.
Well, I knew he fit into what we wanted. So we want another
Eli Manning.
Yeah, we want another Eli. Well, let's say.
Eli Manning.
What if we get another Eli?
He's not another Eli, Tim. It doesn't happen like that. You can't.
I'm not saying he is.
This isn't a test
I'm not saying he is.
Okay, just because he studied under Cutcliffe, like maybe the Mannings have a gene that Daniel Jones doesn't have. Like David Cutcliffe doesn't have a stable of quarterbacks. Like he doesn't have. The Cutcliffe isn't just fucking like here's a ton of quarterbacks from the Cutcliffe school. Like it's Peyton and Eli. Like maybe it has something to do with them being Archie's son more than Cutcliffe. And here we go because of the Eli connection, just falling head over heels in love. It's in the stars because of 3 series during the Senior Bowl.
Don't tell me who to love.
Come on, man. Come on.
You know what? It was a 17 jersey.
You know better.
It was a 17 jersey, and him wearing the Duke colors.
Did anyone see the death threat that I got on Instagram?
You got a death threat on Instagram?
Yeah. I got a death threat on Instagram. But, I was doing the question and answer, and someone asked me, like, Daniel Jones or Rosen. I said Rosen. And he gives me like, oh, I hope you die. I'm going to kill you. You're an unloyal fan.
Wow.
And he goes, but I agree with you. I was like, how do you agree with me? And you're giving me death threats. This is like a maniac.
I'll tell you something.
These people are out of control. You're not loyal.
Some of these Giant fans are just. You know what it is? It's the young ones. I'm sorry if you're young and listening, but you guys call in if you want to yell at me. But you guys are fucking difficult to deal with. You guys have never this is the first adversity that you've had as a fan, and you guys aren't fucking handling it well.
Well, if you think about it, Eli's been there 15 years.
Mm-hmm. So
you got up to 15-year-olds. So, they don't even know there was another quarterback that played for the Giants.
Well, yeah, you could push that back another decade because even if you're 20 or 25, maybe you didn't start following really, until maybe those last couple of years, and then you're 10 years old, and here's Eli Manning as a rookie. So now you're 25, 30 years old. You're in that age range, and he's all you've known.
Mm-hmm.
He's all you've known.
And the problem with us, the older crowd, is we have Dave Brown syndrome.
We've seen some shit.
And that's the problem.
We've seen some shit.
We're all having flashbacks to Dave Brown, and then we're going to go to Kent Graham and Danny Cannell and all that. And it's starting right where, we're right back at our first-round pick being number 17 from Duke.
That was the smartest move. He went Kobe with the number. He's like, 8 for Kobe? I was like, yes. Points in my book right there.
But that's a lot of
he was definitely. You know what? I would have laughed my ass off if he was like, "No, I'm going with 17."
A lot of these young Giant fans they never dealt with that. They never saw the end. And if you're older and you're in my age range, then you remember that late 80s, that mid to late 80s, early 90s run where the team was really competitive and you were on a high for a long period of time. And there were 2 Super Bowls in that time span. And then you watched them fall off a cliff. You watched Sims leave. You watched Taylor leave. You watched a bunch of young guys commit. You watched them struggle to get a new core. You watched them struggle to find a new quarterback. And it was a progress. It was a progression to build up to the team that in 2000 was able to compete for a Super Bowl.
You know what? It shit all over one of my favorite players was his time, Rodney Hanson. Shit all over his time there. One of the greatest running backs Giants ever had the worst quarterbacks ever.
Mm.
I mean, it's just if you don't have the quarterback, gentlemen, it's trouble.
It's difficult. Sometimes you even have a good quarterback and it's trouble. It's not easy.
It's starting to flash back. Now I just said that. So now we have Saquon, could be one of the greatest running backs for the Giants.
Yeah.
And now we're back.
With number 17.
And now we have a 17 from Duke. Oh, we're good. It's just vicious circles.
Yeah. I mean, the decision. What kills me about Jones? What kills me about Jones is the quotes that came out from Gettleman about we're at 6. We needed to take a quarterback now because we don't know when we'll ever get closer. And the fact that you were picking 2 last year and you passed on guys like Darnold and those guys, like, there seems to be a disconnect from reality.
Or
like
you could have kept that 6th pick. You could have drafted Allen or any other player besides that you wanted, and gotten Rosen for what?
The other quote that I found considerably laughable is that he had the same grade on Josh Allen as Daniel Jones. Like, please sit down and watch the film with me and show me what the fuck you're looking at. Like, just explain to me in what world you sat down and watched Daniel Jones film and then you put on Josh Allen's film and you said, "Oh yeah, give me that guy."
That's him. Yeah.
Right after a whole off season of
I don't
my
believe
defense
the
is the problem, my defense is the problem, my defense is the problem. Now here I get one of these guys dropping to me a gem that does exactly what I need him to do, and that's get to the quarterback. And
you fix the defensive line by fixing your secondary. That was your game plan. That's your justification.
Well, if you actually read his comments, like right at the end of the season, he hated the secondary. He was going to make major changes in the secondary regardless.
He didn't know who any of them were. How about that?
Huh?
He didn't know who any of them were.
He didn't know
literally
what
just were being
I
had no idea.
I barely know who they were because I'll tell you right now, by the end of the season, we had like the 10th quarterback playing like number 3.
He didn't know what conference Dwayne Haskins played. Guys.
James, he's mid-70s.
Just think about that for a second.
He's mid-70s. Come on, he's mid-70s.
Yes, I know.
He watches it on the... Well, to give him credit, the football game that he plays on the Wii does have that conference in there. That's why.
You know what? I didn't think of it that way. NCAA, what was that? 2011.
Right.
Maybe.
That's how it was listed. It's not his fault.
I'm taking a shot. No, you're right. That's definitely the Wii's fault. My bad. I can't blame that on him. Jesus Christ.
I want Daniel Jones to succeed, but Dave Gettleman to fail. I don't know how that works out, though.
It doesn't.
Well,
It doesn't.
Here's the deal. If we have another season like we did this year, I don't see Sherman making it.
No, he's
another season.
I'm telling you, it looks like someone killed his puppy during the press conference.
He will. Shermer's definitely bought another year. Daniel Jones buys Shermer another year.
How's that possible if Eli starts all year?
Because if you decide to remove Eli Manning from your team, you've drafted the quarterback, you have a quarterback coach in Pat Shermer, who you handed Eli Manning, you have to give him an opportunity with the young quarterback who fits his system.
I agree.
You drafted Daniel Jones. I would hope that you drafted Daniel Jones because, while I think it was too high, but I would hope that you said to Pat Shermer, and Pat Shermer had a big decision in taking Daniel Jones by saying, this kid works with what I want to do. This kid works in my system.
And drafted all defense to get Kyle Shermer and undrafted.
Well, we could have did that. We could have did what Indianapolis did. And bought low on a gentleman named Chad Kelly.
Relax, Chad.
You know what Chad Kelly would have allowed you to do? Use all of your picks on defense and punt to next year. That's what Chad Kelly would have allowed. And meanwhile, in Indianapolis, a team that takes running backs very late and has built a hell of a roster, they bring Chad Kelly in for a workout. That's a good evaluator of talent. You could buy low in that situation. You have Andrew Luck. He's an extra asset. If he turns out great, you're probably not going to play him over Luck, but can you move him for a second or third, fourth round pick? Probably.
Well, the thing is, he's never going to see the field.
But he doesn't have to see the field.
He's already showed. All you got to do is behave.
No, all he has to do is behave, because he's already shown the ability to earn a starting job in the NFL in Denver. He played lights out in the preseason, and he was about to be named the starter because they have a horrible quarterback situation. So teams, if I'm a GM and he's on the Baltimore roster, and I need a quarterback a year or two from now, and he still has his head on straight and hasn't had any incidents where you're worried about him fucking up or doing anything, is he worth a late-round pick to bring in because of his upside and his ability to throw the football? Bet your ass.
I just want to put it out there,
he has shown the ability
Jackson.
He's shown the ability to play and start on the NFL level. That's rare.
I got did you guys see the video that I sent you? Did you watch it from SB Nation?
Which one?
Fall of the Giants after the 2 Super Bowls?
I think I saw that a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. Did you see the video with Hitler talking about the Giants offseason?
I did.
That was my favorite.
I wanted to bring up the hypothetical. If Reese and McAdoo kept their job, what position do you think we would be in?
Ooh.
Locker room would kill each other.
Are they allowed to run the team?
Yes.
Okay. I think that we would have had Mahomes.
Would we have... All right, we would have had
Odell
Mahomes.
would still be on the team.
Odell would still be on the team. Would we have re-signed JPP?
Yeah, wasn't Jerry Reese the one to resign him?
This would be a long term. This would be...
No, Jerry Reese.
No, he did resign. No, he did. No, he did resign him.
Who got rid of him?
Jerry Reese is the one to give him the long-term deal.
Who got rid of him?
JPP
got
will still be here.
How about he got into a car accident?
We would be in cap hell right now. If Jerry Reese and McAdoo was still there.
We are in cap hell right now.
We really are.
We just paid a fucking wide receiver $90 million and then traded him the next year. We're paying him $16 million to catch passes from fucking Baker Mayfield. Like, that's not smart.
Well, you know what? I thought it was remission. We talk about what happened to remission.
It is. Signing him was the stupid fucking thing, Tim. Not trading him. Signing him in the first place was dumb.
I don't see how Mara can't be pissed at Gettleman.
Mara should be pissed at one person.
Gave him all the guaranteed money and then traded him.
That's Mara's fault.
But like,
I'm sorry. That's if you're Mara. See, Gettleman has to come to you. You're the fucking owner. Okay? Gettleman just came in. He's brand new. You're the one that's been here for 3-4 years with this fucking kid dealing with him. You're telling me that as the owners, you don't have the power to tell Dave Gettleman, listen, we have complete control over this kid. I have another 5th-year option that I could pick up on him, and I could franchise him. Fuck him and let him be a good boy for a year. You don't think Gettleman could have fucking said that Mara could have said that to Gettleman? Don't pay him now. I want to see him behave for a whole season before we negotiate with him. And if he balks, I'll franchise his ass.
I think it's going to be... I agree with what you're saying, too, but...
I still think it was a mistake that we traded Odell. Do you want my honest opinion?
You think it was a mistake?
Sign him.
It was absolutely a mistake.
He said he wasn't happy. The guy has 47 personalities, Tim. Like, stop being blinded by somebody's talent and realize that the guy's awful for the locker room. He's awful.
The way all I looked at it was all-world talent on top of, and then we have Saquon on the same offense.
Great.
And you couldn't put him in the box because Odell was there.
He hates playing with the quarterback. He hated playing in New York. He said he didn't like it. He said he wasn't happy. Well, then Tim, you got a fundamental problem, and if the Maras are tied to Eli, guess what?
You know what? It would have all worked out.
So who are you mad at? The problem is John Mara. If John Mara would have handled the Odell situation differently in the very beginning, Maybe he nips this in the bud. Maybe they don't enable the kid into being a fucking head case. And it all started on Coughlin's watch because Coughlin was desperate to win for his job and wasn't allowed to. Do you think Tom Coughlin in his earlier days would have dealt with some of that shit that Odell was doing?
Nope.
Or do you think that maybe Coughlin thought it was at the end of his rope and he was about
Odell
to lose his job, and he knew that Odell was the only fucking chance that offense had to score? So he knew the defense was terrible, so he knew that he needed Odell on the field and was willing to let him do anything he wanted to do because he was fucking bitched by his talent.
Absolutely.
Okay, and that's
correct.
the truth, and that's where all of this shit started because you let one thing go and it snowballed, and you had no control over it when McAdoo came in as a rookie coach, and it was all fine and dandy because they were winning games that year. You were able to mask a lot until the boat turned.
Yeah, and I totally understand that. I mean, and Odell masked a whole lot of crap on that offense, like garbage.
Well, remember that offense was what was it? The last 6 games of the year they didn't break 20 points.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and Odell was part of that offense. You know, Odell was. You know, I saw a quote from him that pissed me off a couple of weeks ago about the playoff game. I think he tweeted something about the playoff game, or about he's only been in one play. He left 10 points by himself on the field in the opening drives in Green Bay, the first 2 opening drives. He dropped a third down pass that would have. He dropped a third down pass that would have moved the chains and put the Giants in field goal position on the opening drive, and then on the second drive, I believe he dropped a touchdown pass.
And what
so you're on the road trying to win the game in Green Bay. I think there was a tweet or something where he referenced the Green Bay playoff game or the playoff game in Green Bay. It was the day that, and I'm blocked by him, so I can't see it on Twitter. But I saw it on an article. It was some article where they show like the clips or the screenshots, and I guess he was going back and forth with fans. Something happened, and he was on Twitter all day replying to fans left and right and going back and forth with fans. And I guess the Green Bay game came up. And I saw a tweet from him, and it just irked me. I was just like, this motherfucker. But he left 10 points on the board that day.
But, you know what? As much as I hate to say this, do I agree with Odell getting traded? No, because I don't think you get rid of all-world talent like that. But I'm also with old-school Giants football. And we're going to get back to grounding and pounding and just playing good defense. I'm absolutely fine with that. And I know that's what James would like to play. And I know that's the kind of game he would like to play.
Here's what I don't know. Here's what I think they're going to do. I think here's what they're trying to do. They're going to try to be the Cowboys from a couple of years ago. Remember the Cowboy team a couple of years ago that we said had a really good offensive line, and they had Zeke, and we thought their defense was going to be absolutely terrible. And then ended up that they were pretty good because they were able to get leads, not turn the ball over, and run the ball and grind the clock. I think that is a nice idea. But I think in today's NFL, considering that I really don't know how good the defense is going to be off the rip, your quarterback better be able to make some plays. And even if you're going to play like that, then you better be able to convert third downs. Right? Like if you're going to play that way and that's your strategy, then your quarterback better be very accurate enough. Better be accurate enough to hit those windows, hit guys in stride so they can pick up yards after the catch. Considering that Sterling Shepard and Golden Tate are your wide receivers, you would think that it's going to be a lot of short passes, a lot of quick, get the ball out of your hands and let these guys do something with it, right? Well, you better be accurate with the football. And what have we seen over the course of the last couple of years with Eli? Sometimes he is not very accurate with the football. And at that point, it becomes difficult to sustain drives. So it's difficult to win football games that way. See, like even if your strategy is that, right, Dallas was able to do it because they had a quarterback that, you know what, Dak, despite his shortcomings, which I believe he has ample, right, if your game strategy is to put yourself in a third and short situation, Dak is not a bad quarterback to have for those situations. because you can put him in the shotgun. He can move with his legs.
Dallas also got lucky. Because the fact was...
Very lucky that season. A lot of things fell their way that year.
Dak Prescott wouldn't even have played because Kellen Moore got hurt along with Tony Romo.
No, you're right. But they protected...
They might not even realize what they had.
No, they didn't realize what they had. But they stepped in shit. But they... And I'll tell you the truth. I don't think Dak did a lot to really have... Like, that team was the offensive line, the running game, and keeping the defense off the field. But Dak, because of his legs, was able to do enough to convert short third downs, where he was able to at least get away from pressure because of his athletic ability and make a short throw. You know what I'm saying? Like, or pick it up with his legs.
And I love that you just said that, because that's where I think Daniel Jones steps it up over Haskins, because Daniel Jones can actually run.
I think that Daniel Jones, you see, you got to be careful with that. You step it up over Haskins, because, Haskins, if you watched him, Tim, okay, he wasn't a runner, but he didn't.
No, and I understand he's not a runner.
Daniel Jones, if he plays the way he played in college in the NFL, is not going to make it a couple of weeks. He's going to end up with another broken collarbone. Okay, because those diving for first downs, those fighting for extra yards, those in the end, you better get down, son. Because they're going to light you the fuck up. And you're 6'5", 220, you're a little frail, boy. You're a skinny little guy. Okay? So you better protect yourself, Daniel Jones. Right? So let's not think that he's going to be running the read option like fucking Lamar Jackson out there. That's a dangerous game to play. I don't want my quarterback playing that game. I want my quarterback using his legs to avoid the rush and make throws. Running occasionally when the opportunity presents itself and there's no other options there, and then get down and protect yourself and get back in the pocket.
Coming from the guy who was begging us to get Johnny Manziel.
I love Johnny Manziel. Another guy.
What did your film study tell you about Johnny Manziel?
Johnny Manziel, I love Johnny Manziel.
He was fun to watch. That's what film study said.
I love Johnny Manziel coming out. I think drugs is the problem with Johnny Manziel. I think he's a fucking cokehead. I don't know that if he would have came in and stayed clean and not been a fucking head case moron, that he didn't have the talent to succeed at the NFL level. I think he was a cokehead. I think it's hard. I think there's only certain players in history that can achieve greatness while taking cocaine, and it may have to do with a position thing. And I ain't one to gossip. You have heard that from me.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. I love Manziel coming out of school. I love Manziel coming out of school. I really did. I thought he would be a good prospect.
My main issue with Manziel is every highlight I saw of Manziel was he was just bombing it up to Mike Evans.
What's up?
That's what NFL teams are doing right now. That's what Ryan Fitzpatrick did all last season.
Well, you know what? I think that here's the other thing is, I think it's really important that a young quarterback get put in a situation where it's not a complete chaos clusterfuck. I think a young quarterback needs to go into a place where there's,
a veteran quarterback that's good on his last year.
No, not at all. I have no problem with a kid playing from day one.
1 point, Tim.
Where there's a structure in the franchise and a foundation where it's not going to be a different offensive coordinator, a different head coach, a different this, a different that every other year. Because I don't think that gives any player a real chance to succeed in a single season, because there's so much that goes into it, and the systems being different and changing and learning
I totally agree
and all
with
that stuff.
Sort of like what Arizona did to Josh Rosen.
Yeah, man.
18 coordinators, coaches.
Yeah, in the middle of the season.
It's what San Francisco did to Alex Smith in the first part of his career.
Mm-hmm.
Set up for failure.
I think I was watching the game live when they're like, "Oh, let's bring in Colin Kaepernick to throw 40 yards." Hail Mary pass, and I was like, that's not good right there. That's not going to go well for Alex Smith.
And if you remember, even when I was high on Manziel, I said the same thing about Manziel, that I would hope that he would use his legs to get out of the pocket and make throws. Like I like my quarterback to be able to move enough to make a throw. I don't want him to make a living scampering, because that's how guys, like, these fucking guys are violent. It's a violent game. Like, I don't need I don't need my quarterback taking a side shot on his shoulder. Right? Like, I don't need him taking unnecessary hits in the middle of the field and guys coming in from all different angles and taking shots at him. Like, to me, the first down's not even that important. Like, get down, buddy. I need you long term.
Mike Vick was wearing a flak jacket under his uniform. He was getting pounded so much.
Slide. Get down, baby.
He was coming in armor.
Like I like Deshaun Watson. I like watching him. But if he was the quarterback on my team, I would hate him, because it's nerve wracking. Like, like, imagine being a Texans fan, right? And Deshaun Watson is pretty much, you've watched the Savages and some of the guys that have come through there that have played, Yates or whatever those fucking guys' names were, that they've had playing, where it's just been awful, right? And you get a guy like Deshaun Watson, and you're like, okay, I love this guy, right? He has his faults, but at least we have a shot. At least this guy is an athlete that can make a throw down the field and can make a play. And he's had some monster games. We know there's potential there, right? Like, you see that guy running around taking those shots. Like, you got to have your heart in your throat, man. Like, he's not going to last. He can't last.
Who also had an injury.
Yeah, and not even, like, the physical injuries. Like, with how things are with concussions nowadays, like, some of the shots that he took last year were just like, go back and watch some of those shots that he took. Like, man, he was getting abused. And the fact that he, played as well as he did and finished, like, caps off to him. But if you're going to make your living like that, good luck in this league long term.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost where it's a huge accomplishment when you have a 15-year career and not miss a start.
Well, you don't
leave the pocket. Tim, he missed a start. Okay, he couldn't play. Geno Smith had to come in.
That's because of piece of shit Ben McAdoo.
Oh, God.
What was it? I think it was before McAdoo was the offensive coordinator. Eli Manning's arm was tired at the end of the year, remember? He had arm fatigue. That's what they were calling it. His arm's tired.
And he needs quick feet.
But we got a quarterback, guys. Let's
we do.
We got him.
In theory, if that's what you call him. Let's see. I'm so scared that we have Ryan
the problem is I wish we could have went one more year later. Because I am a Jake Fromm fan. I like Jake Fromm.
I would have let me tell you, I would have rathered 1 year later than Daniel Jones. Give me, if the rest of the draft doesn't remain the same, if the rest of the draft remains the same, for as much as I would have liked either Dillard or Sweat at 17 instead of Lawrence, if you told me that everything remains the same and you switch out Josh Allen for Daniel Jones, I'd be thrilled right now. And you know how high I am on a quarterback, and you knew how high I was on Haskins, but at least that would signal to me that, okay, it's 2020 then, right? Like, okay, you decided to go. You decided. You're telling me again, Eli. Okay, at least you took the best defensive player on the board at 6, right? Like, while I don't like it and I'm still annoyed, I can see the bigger picture at that point. Daniel Jones at 6. It's hard for me to see the bigger picture. It just screams like this is the right fit for Eli Manning. And we couldn't risk not having the right fit for Eli Manning, so we had to take him at 6.
Well, the only thing with that is it really a fit for Eli Manning. What does Eli do to who's the next quarterback?
Because it's an easier transition because of the relationship they have. It's easier to manage Daniel Jones than it is to manage Dwayne Haskins in that situation because of the respect and the relationship he has for Eli Manning. Think of the outside voices that are there to influence Daniel Jones. Have patience, kid. When it's time, it'll be your time. Cutcliffe, right?
Day one starter. You heard it today.
Well, let's think about this. Wouldn't you think it's a positive that Daniel Jones already worked with Eli? Working with the same quarterback coach.
No, I'd rather have the more talented guy. I don't care about that shit.
Some people would say that.
I don't want to hit Daniel Jones because he's buddies with Eli Manning. Like, give me the better talented prospect. That includes Drew Lock. That includes Will Grier, in my eyes. Even though I wouldn't have drafted either one of them. If you're telling me that I had to have a quarterback from this draft, then I would have rathered one of those guys than Daniel Jones.
Locke intrigued me. I won't lie to you about that. Locke definitely intrigued me. Actually, Will Grier did too. I wouldn't have took Will Grier in the first round at all.
No, I don't know that. I don't know that other. And like I told you, I don't know that any other than Murray or Haskins that I would have taken any of those quarterbacks in the first round. Okay, but look what Denver did. Like, Denver was able to get Locke in the second. Like, the Giants could have taken Allen. They could have. All right, let's debate who they could have taken at 17. They took Lawrence. Live with it, right? They even if they move back up to get Baker, right? They still have enough ammo where they could have packaged a shit ton of picks and maybe a pick next year and moved up and got Grier.
Yeah.
I mean, so like they could have not moved up for Baker and taken Baker at 17 and then traded 37 and moved up for Locke.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have been thrilled with that, but hey, you know what? I could have lived with that because to me that's better value for the quarterback right there. Like, if you want to reach for those guys, it's late first or in the second. But to me, Jones was behind those guys. We'll see.
Yeah, I can't necessarily argue that point other than exactly this. I just want to know. I hope Jones steps it up.
And that's what I'm scared about, Tim. Is I'm scared about that. The only reason why they took Jones was because he was more than anything talent-wise. Like, I think that they were just afraid that someone else was going to grab him later on, not necessarily before 17.
Well, you know what? If that's the case, let's be honest. Right or wrong, if you got conviction on the quarterback, fine. That's your quarterback. That's who you want. Make sure you get him.
The theory is correct.
I don't see how they can have. See, I think they had conviction on the relationship. I don't know. I don't.
The only reason I say that conviction thing.
The only thing that makes sense to me. Because I can't, Tim.
I'm literally taking your word.
I can't see how you look at Josh Allen and Daniel Jones and you say, "Oh yeah, same grade."
I don't agree with that at all. I don't agree with that
I don't
at
know.
all.
I don't know how you look at Devin Bush.
I
don't know how you watch.
I don't know how you watch Devin. Debate. Is you said the quarterback is that important. So whether Daniel Jones is, let's say, 20th ranked prospect on your list compared to Josh Allen, doesn't he get bumped up a whole lot because he's the quarterback? And if that's the quarterback you wanted, get the conviction and make sure you get him.
No, I'm not reaching. No, the prospect has to be in the range. You're talking about a guy who I'm projecting in the top 20. I have pick 17.
But like I said, you want your quarterback. You want to make sure.
But I have pick 17. I still have to. I can't be a fucking idiot about it. If you're telling me the quarterback's ranked like Haskins, who I had much higher above him.
And you know what? James is debating very well, and I don't want to kid on about this, but Marco, I want you to check the tape. I want the draft going up to the draft, and what James said when we were talking about quarterbacks.
I'll tell you what I said. If you have conviction on the quarterback, you take the quarterback. Here's my thing. I think that if they have conviction in Daniel Jones, Oh my! Please, someone explain to me how.
Right. The theory is correct.
That's my thing. Like, all right. They said they had conviction on Jones. We're in it. Like, that's it. They have conviction on Jones. Here we are. That doesn't mean that I have to have conviction on Jones until I see him play.
Okay.
Right.
That's fair.
You don't wait for him to come to you at 17. You have to take him at 6. That's your quarterback.
No, but I had him graded. But I had him graded differently, right? And this is where I have a complete disconnect with the entire fucking franchise. And this is where a lot of people who aren't diehard Giant fans have a lot of difference with what the Giants are doing. Like, I think they had Jones rated way too high.
Hey, the kid knocked it out to the park, or whatever he did in the offseason.
Whatever he did at the Senior Bowl, man, he did the same as Lilletta and Webb. He killed it.
Now, I really hope that doesn't start becoming the tradition.
They've done it 3 years in a row. It officially is a tradition now. They don't even have a draft now. Now it's whoever is the Senior Bowl MVP automatically goes to the Giants.
Does that include if it's not a quarterback?
It doesn't matter. Senior Bowl MVP, full bloom love, Giants player.
I just want to put out there my boy, which I tried to talk about earlier, Tyree Jackson.
Buffalo?
Yeah, he's in Buffalo. But he went undrafted as well. I'm kind of mad we didn't try to pick him up.
Wait, did Kyle Shermer went undrafted and signed?
Yep, Kyle Shermer went undrafted.
I wasn't sure if I missed it with like a late pick.
Do you know? I'm gonna call it now. Carolina has got themselves a fucking nasty 1-2 punch. A nasty 1-2 punch in Carolina. They got Mr. McCaffrey
and Greer
and Holyfield.
Yeah, McCaffrey and who?
Holyfield.
Oh, here we go.
Holyfield went to Carolina.
Also, McCaffrey looks like a beast. Have you seen him recently?
Oh, yeah. That's what I was thinking. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like I saw the pictures of McCaffrey, and now you put Elijah Holyfield in that backfield with him. Like, that is a very physical and nasty 1-2 punch, man. They both
be careful not to show McCaffrey's pictures to Ghetto, man. He'll be in full bloom love again. You already drafted him once.
Full bloom love. I saw it in the stars.
Wasn't Gentleman part of his dad getting drafted?
Was he?
Who? Probably.
I think he was part of the Giants at that point.
He's old enough.
No, I don't think so.
Google it. What was McCaffrey? 93, 91, 92, 93, somewhere around there, 94, somewhere?
And he's another great talent that we wasted as well.
I remember in high school, me and my buddy took a girl on a double date. And I had like 4 Giants jerseys at the time. And we both went wearing our Giants jerseys. We both went wearing Giants. He's like, can I wear the McCaffrey? I was like, no, dude, I'm wearing the McCaffrey. And I had the authentic McCaffrey jersey. What's up?
What did he wear?
He wore my. I think he wore the Sims jersey. I think he had the Sims jersey.
Classic yet suitable for the double date.
So it was nice. It was Valentine's. You could tell how young and stupid we were. Valentine's double date. We were like, let's rock the fucking double Giant jerseys. We'll be fucking hot.
My dad's a Jets fan. What?
Get out. Give me the rose back and the chocolate. And you're paying for your own dinner.
Those are Russell Stovers, okay?
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, I want to keep this.
I got those at the Jump Hop. I got those at the 7-Eleven. You ungrateful fuck.
And the funny thing is, you guys talking about Carolina. They got the guy who I wanted, Christian Miller. Mm-hmm. You know who I didn't realize he was the son of I think it was Corey Miller that used to play for us, outside linebacker.
What?
You guys remember,
I'm
right?
looking up something.
Yeah, he was Christian Miller.
I think
it was Corey Miller.
I saw like a first round pick where the father was crying, and he was a former player. I don't remember who it was though. I didn't remember him as a Giant. I think it was a Bears player or something.
Oh my God, yo,
What?
Are you kidding me?
Day one starter?
No, man. Do you remember there was another guy that I absolutely loved coming out of the draft, like another one of these no-name guys that I fell in love with. You remember Jazz Hands Ferguson?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Jazz Hands Ferguson
He
signed
went
with the
undrafted.
Seahawks.
Yeah, I saw that.
So they got DK Metcalf and Jazz Hands.
Yeah, it was Christian Miller, by the way. Corey Miller, that's his son. Played for us from 92 to 99. Corey Miller.
Corey Miller. I don't
Number
even
57, Corey Miller.
Yeah, yep.
I don't remember him.
I remember Corey Miller.
He was good.
He was the one that used to do the bow after he had the sack.
The bow.
He bowed like twice.
He used to bow. He used to do the bow, I believe. I think he did the bow.
Pre Justin Tuck bow.
Well, he was also
Justin
playing
Tuck
during.
used to do the sack. Didn't he do like the karate thing with like his hands? And he did like the bow. I think Corey Miller did a different type of bow. I think it was more like his hand across his waist, and then like a bow like that.
So Miller played with Jesse Armstead.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. We actually had a good linebacking core. What the hell? You know,
Jesus
those years.
Christ, Jazz Ferguson impressed during his first minicamp, and he finished with 2 touchdown receptions on Sunday's final session.
Was he wearing pants?
I've watched a lot of Jazz to see him do the stuff that a big man does, Carol said. Jazz hands. 6'4", 227. Jazz hands.
6. Oh,
Well,
I didn't think he was
that's
that
my
big.
thing with. That's my thing with Tyree Jackson, man. 6'7", 260. We could have sat on him for a year or two. Let him learn the system. He's mobile.
I can't wait for Andrew Luck to get hurt and Chad Kelly to lead them to the playoffs.
Chad Kelly's going to be out partying.
You're right. After he fucking leads them to the playoffs. You're going to dress up like Woody and go wander into people's homes, get chased out with another vacuum.
You know, Toy Story 4 is coming out.
Yeah, it is. Theme party. Did you see the video of him getting chased out with the vacuum?
No, what?
Oh, it's so great, right? When the night of Von Miller's birthday party, he was dressed as Woody, right? So he was dressed as Woody from Toy Story. So he got completely shit-faced, wasted, I guess, and he ends up in this he takes an Uber to some house, and then he wanders into the house and he sits down. There's a woman with a baby on the couch, and he just sits down next to her and starts like fucking talking gibberish, bombed. Well, the husband like bugs out and like grabs the vacuum and like starts hitting Chad Kelly with the vacuum, and Kelly gets up and goes running out of his house. And there's an actual security camera surveillance thing of Kelly getting chased out of the house by the guy with the vacuum. You haven't seen this?
No. I didn't know there was actual video.
Go right now, please. You guys need to get obsessed with Chad Kelly like I am. It's so much fun following him. And best news about here's the best news about Chad. Off Facebook, he's off Twitter.
I will say that I like
focused.
I like Daniel Jones that he's on Twitter rather than the Baron Eli.
Oh, Eli,
you know what I hope?
Eli will get him off.
You know what I hope? Here's the best thing. Here's what I hope, right? I hope. You know who Daniel Jones looks like to me? He looks like the fucking kid on the teams that you used to play against, that you used to like in high school, like the kid on the other team that you didn't know, you just looked at him and you fucking hated. Like everybody had that one guy on the other team that you saw his face.
He does have that preppy look.
Kid. Right?
The preppy,
he has that
preppy bad boy look.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like who's the kid from Duke? Who's the kid from Duke that played basketball a couple of years ago and he was just a dirty son of a bitch? And like you would just look at him and be like, oh, you. No, not like really recently. But I know what you're saying. Like Bobby Hurley type. Like you look at him and you're like, you fucking rat, like you little nasty little, like Stockton, right? You're like, you fucking snake. I saw you elbow that guy. But there was a guy on Duke that like was really like you.
Yeah, he was like clotheslining dudes.
Like you fucked one dude up or something. I forget his name,
I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't think of what the hell it is.
Like you look at his face and you're just like, you're a dick, right? You know what I hope? I hope Daniel Jones is that dick. I hope Daniel Jones is like this. I hope he's good, and then he's like he's that guy. Like he's the guy that everybody hates, and then we can embrace him, and he can be like that.
A bunch of Duke kids that look exactly the same, and everybody hated them.
Like
the Christian Leitners, the Bobby Hurleys, the Cherokee Parks.
I think I could embrace that guy. I think that I could really learn to embrace that guy is if he was dickish. Like I want to, so like I'm praying that like the one thing I want him to be like develop into a good quarterback and be a dick. Like you got the dick look, now just be it. Like don't be Eli. Be like anti-Eli. Like look like him, but be like fucking like everything that he's not. Like call people out, fucking. You know, have some fun. I'm sick of this.
I saw a couple people saying that.
Blah.
Yeah, I saw a couple people saying like one of his traits that are different than Eli is he's way more aggressive and vocal.
I hope so, man. Like I that's what I mean. Like give me the way he looks with like Aaron Rodgers. Like who's a real dick? Like just give me the worst that we could like. Let's mix quarterback personalities together of like the dickish ones. Like and let him be that guy. Let him be the villain that everybody hates that we can love.
Who did everyone hate? Oh,
and you know I'm right.
He was
know
an
that
asshole,
you guys
though.
played against everybody in high school. But you had a guy that you just saw on the other team, and you had to play against him every year. Or you played him twice a year. And you just saw his face, and you were like, "That kid's a dick."
Like what?
Right?
You want it to be like? You wanted how big of a dick level do you want it to be? Like Jay Cutler dick or like?
Like sort of like Bobby from Cobra Kai, like that dick, right? Like you just see his face and you're like, you fucking little weasel, like you're a snake, right? Like you don't even like the guy doesn't even have to say it. Like when he just opens his mouth, like he just like pretty much just solidifies the fact that he's a douchebag, right? Like he just his actions and his words speak completely hand in hand. Like I want Danny to be that guy, Danny the dick.
Let's make sure we tweet at him.
What? I want him to fucking point at guys. I want him to talk shit to fucking defensive backs. I want to fucking point at people. I want him to be an arrogant son of a bitch. Let's have some fun.
You want him to be College Baker.
I want him to. I don't mind if my quarterback's that guy. Like I got a problem if the running back and the wide receivers are because I think if the quarterback does it right, like it resonates with the entire fucking team. Right? I think if the quarterback can do it the right way, like Baker, like right now, so far, year one, it looks like he's doing it the right way. Right? He's got that swagger, he's got that fuck you, but he got it in a way where his teammates right now are feeling it. And that resonates throughout the entire team. You need it to come from your quarterback. I think it holds a lot more weight when it comes from your quarterback because he's the guy ultimately that's responsible for good, bad. And if your quarterback's a leader of men and he's standing up no matter if you win or lose and he's taking the blame and the brunt for it for you guys, then that gives him a right to be that guy, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're the face of the franchise and you're getting up and facing the media no matter what happens every Sunday, good, bad, or indifferent, and you're the one that's taking the blows for the other guys in the locker room, then it gives you the right to hold those other guys accountable. Right?
Oh, by the way, I figured out who the Duke player was. Figured it out. Grayson Allen.
There you go. The minute I heard his name, Grayson. Even that name.
Yeah.
Right?
He's a preppy kid that you hated. Who got everything you wanted. He's driving by the Corvette.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. That's what. And I don't know that Daniel Jones is that, but I know when you see his face, that's what it reminds you of.
He's in the developmental league, right? Did he get drafted? No.
Who?
I don't think he did.
I think he's in the Gatorade league.
He was too busy tripping people.
Do you get a serial killer vibe when you look at him?
Daniel Jones?
Yeah.
No, but you've told me that a few times.
Not that I would mind that. I think that gives him some personality. But like I get like the wide-eyed look like that he may like be like unhinged.
I want my quarterbacks to have the personality look of a serial killer.
I figure if he could be much like Christian Bale in American Psycho, we got ourselves a winner.
Grayson Allen plays for Utah, by the way.
Does he really?
Not the defensive.
Doesn't that even
Gatorade
fits?
league.
That even fits. Right in line with Stockton.
Stockton wasn't dirty.
Oh, Stockton was really dirty.
No, he wasn't.
Oh, Marco.
He was aggressive. He wasn't
Marco.
He wasn't clotheslining dudes or undercutting them.
He was a sneaky little son of a bitch.
He was gritty.
Guys hated him. Guys hated Stockton.
I love Stockton.
Captain
Who do you want me to like?
Right?
No, I'm not saying I didn't like him. I'm just saying that he was that guy. Like he
would get under your skin.
Bill Lambier. How about that name? Right? That's a fucking name for you. You know exactly. Bill Lambier. Even my guy,
See,
right?
Yeah, guys named Bill Lambier, yes. Danny
Ainge, right? If you're not a Celtic fan, you fucking hate Danny Ainge's face, right? like Danny Ainge used to do some fucked up shit on the basketball court, man. There was a bunch of guys.
I hated Danny Ainge when he was a Phoenix Sun.
What? Right?
Yeah.
You remember what was the game where it was against the Rockets or something, right? Where something fucked up happened. And Danny Ainge like took the ball out of bounds and he just pegged the guy right in the head with the ball. Like he just look it up, fellas, if you're listening to this on YouTube. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, it was an inbound pass and he was pissed that something fucking happened and it was like towards the end of the game and it was completely fucking blatant. He just turns around and pegs the guy in the head with the ball. Love him. Love him.
Man.
That's my GM. He's one bad guy.
That era of basketball is gone, man.
Yeah, that's when it was fun.
Oh my God, it didn't get better than that. Do you remember? Like, you guys know I'm a Celtic fan, but like I think back to like some of the like. Do you guys remember like the series that the Bulls won like over the Knicks when the Knicks were good when they had like Anthony Mason and Charles Smith?
I'm not even the biggest Knicks fan.
No, not at all.
That team was great.
You would be glued to the television, right? Like I remember not liking those teams at all, and like being like, oh man, 8:00 on TNT, like get out of my way, I'm not missing this. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't like I had one of my buddies in my fantasy league text me tonight, and he was like, this game going on right now is completely awful, and I'm like, actually, it's like pretty awesome. Like it's playoff basketball. Like guys are getting hit going to the basket. Like it's like there's nothing
That's what
easy.
It should be.
Like there's guys
there's
flying
no
all over the place.
Like down the lanes, especially in the playoffs.
Like yeah, I could respect that. Like I miss that. Like I don't mind if the game's sloppy if guys are playing hard and busting their ass on defense and. Like that's what you get in the playoffs sometimes, but that's how it was back then. Like those games were fucking. Like, you couldn't get to the basket without getting.
But how boring were those Miami Heat New York Knicks series?
I didn't think they were boring. Give me a 78. Give me an 82-78 game where teams
were
beating the shit out of each other.
on Alonzo Mourning's legs, like that, you don't think that was great?
And they were and those teams were beating the shit out of each other. Those were 12-round fucking boxing matches, man. Yeah. Like I don't mind if the game if it's 18-16 at the end of the first quarter, if teams are like at each other's throats and talking trash, and you've got to like every time somebody bumps into each other, like it's like oh here they go, like that shit is fun, man.
Now subbing in for Charles Oakley, Anthony Mason, you're like oh my God.
That shit is fun. Like I remember the Celtics Pistons series.
The ball at Mario Ellie.
All right, okay.
Mario Ellie. Oh my God, remember him?
Right, But even the Celtic-Lakers series, you watch some of those highlights where Rambis is going to the basket and he gets fucking clotheslined, or Jabbar and Bird going face to face with each other. That doesn't happen anymore like that, man.
No.
If somebody got hit like Rambis got hit back then, people would have been thrown out of the game. There would have been fines. They would have been suspended for 3-4 games. The whole series would have been fucking ruined.
You imagine if someone did that to LeBron, the league would kick the guy out.
No, yeah. If it was basketball in the late 80s, 90s, early 2000s was good, but 70s it was just crazy.
Well, that was one of the alluring things about watching the Knicks against the Bulls or the Celtics against the Bulls or the Pistons against the Bulls, because at that time Jordan was hands down. You just knew he was the best player. Mm-hmm. And it was the entire team versus Michael Jordan, and those teams beat the shit out of Michael Jordan. Even some of the Cleveland Cavalier series, where they had Price and Elo and Nance and Dougherty and some of those guys. Those were tough series.
Oh my God, who was the power forward?
No,
Larry Nance.
Dale Davis.
Who was the small forward for the Cavs?
No, that was Indiana.
My team
that was Indiana. That was the Pacers. Dale Davis and Anthony Davis.
Seattle Supersonics, man. Gary Payton,
Kemp and Payton.
Sean Kemp.
Detlef Schrempf.
Sam Perkins.
Sean Kemp.
Sam Perkins, Dave McMillan.
What happened to Sean Kemp? He gained 800 pounds, right?
He had all these kids stressed him out.
I went down one of those YouTube
rabbit holes.
Wormholes, I guess. Rabbit holes. There you go. Rabbit holes, right? So I was watching. It started with a bird highlight thing, and then there was a Magic one, and then it went into a couple other guys, and I was scrolling down, and I saw a Drazen Petrovic tribute video.
Oh, he was next. Him and Coleman.
Oh,
him and Derek.
Mm-hmm.
Cold-hearted. That was great. If you could find that on YouTube, the Petrovic video, Drazen Petrovic was a pleasure to watch. How did he die?
Yeah.
That was tragic. That was unexpected.
Car accident.
Was it a car accident? Okay.
Yeah, in the Autobahn.
Okay. Wow. I saw there was an ESPN 30 for 30 last night. I was watching. It struck a nerve with me. Bias on Len Bias. The death of Len Bias, dude. Just so talented. It's a shame. Those guys, it would have been great to see them develop in the pros.
And you wonder why people don't want to draft my Sweet or whatever his name is.
Well, yeah. Well, look what happened with Reggie Lewis. There's a Celtic, right? Reggie Lewis just collapsed right on the practice court.
Grayson Allen could pass for a younger Ted Bundy. Someone just added me.
Hank, what was it? Hank Gathers too, right? Dropped. That was a sin.
Yeah.
What did he say? What did the guy say?
I haven't been glued to the comments today, but the guy tweeted back that Grayson Allen looks like a young Ted Bundy.
He does.
And I just want to put it out there. You know what? I was told. I have not, and I'll be honest, I haven't watched it, but on Netflix, there's a Ted Bundy movie.
Mm-hmm.
With Zac Efron, right?
Yes. And so what I was told is they don't even really talk about killing. It's like a love story. They gloss over the killing.
Do you really need to know about that stuff?
And I haven't watched it, but I'm the fact is, how do you have a Ted Bundy movie but just gloss over the killing?
I haven't seen it yet. I'm still riveted by Game of Thrones. I play scenarios over on how this is going to end in my head.
You know what?
What do we think? What do you want to take theories on what's going to happen?
I want to give Arya a shout out right now. she's obviously the MVP.
I want to give a on the down low shout out to Jon Snow, because I have a little theory as to what he was doing there. Right? You remember where he gets up and starts screaming at the dragon?
Mm-hmm.
And you're sort of like, oh wow, he's just accepted the fact that he's going to die, and he's just screaming at the fucking thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that was it, gentlemen. I think if you go back and watch that video, I think Jon Snow, when he stands up, I think he screams Ira, and then he screams go, go, And the next scene you see is the White Walker, where his hair blows in the wind, and then you see the Night King, and here comes Arya Stark out of nowhere. So my theory is that the dragon was keeping watch, and Jon did a little diversion tactic.
Wow.
So that Arya could sprint in for the kill.
Now I gotta go back. I hate you guys. I gotta go back and watch the episode now.
Just go back and watch this. Just go back and watch the last scene. If you go back and just watch the last scene, you don't got to watch the whole episode. But it's weird. He literally gets up, he starts screaming, and then the next scene you see is her. And I didn't catch it right away. I saw somebody comment it, and then I went back and watched it and was like, oh shit, that's pretty cool.
So you should.
And who knew they had fucking Starbucks in Westeros?
Hey, gotta get your coffee in.
Well,
is there going to be a battle in the Goldwood?
They said they've messed up like 10 times. Like stupid shit that's happened where they missed it. There's one guy walking in the scene, he had jeans on, and Jon Snow jumped on his horse, but he had a rubber sword on and it was bouncing.
It's like they sort of were just all right, fuck it, we're done.
Yeah, fuck it.
Anybody can I bring my Starbucks on set? Yeah, sure, fuck it. Yeah, they got Starbucks in Westeros. It's right outside of Winterfell. They just put up a Starbucks.
There's also one scene where someone left their laptop.
What are you drinking from Starbucks? It's a fucking Venti milk of the puppy.
It's giant milk.
Yeah, it's Venti Giant's milk. Straight from the teat.
So usually we do a game prediction. Let's do a Game of Thrones prediction? Iron Throne prediction. How about that?
Okay.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Go.
Jaime Lannister's killing Cersei.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that. Go ahead. Okay, I like that.
And I'm also going to put out there, Arya is going to kill Daenerys.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Okay, I got one for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Daenerys, right? If you're a Game of Thrones fan, right? The story of Azor Ahai, the prince to be promised, right? Supposedly, the first guy had a wife, right? And that wife, and the wife was pregnant or something, and he had to sacrifice the wife and the baby for the good of the realm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the White Walkers are gone. And I think some shit's about to go down where Jon's going to kill Daenerys. And I think it's going to be much of a sacrifice type of thing. And I think Sansa's going to end up on the Iron Throne.
Sansa.
Well, you know what? I just want to put it out there that Sansa's a little thirsty for Jon.
You see the way she's looking at him?
Well, you know what? Listen, bitch. You swore to me 5 minutes ago that you were going to say shit. And all of a sudden, 5 minutes later, you putting out the rumors.
Chaos is a ladder. Chaos is a ladder. Who did she learn from? She's playing the Game of Thrones, my friend.
Little
she knows that if she tells Tyrion that it sets off a chain of motion where possibly Daenerys could be taken out of the picture without her raising a finger.
Yep.
It's fucking genius.
This is my prediction.
Playing the Game of Thrones.
This is my prediction.
She's like, it just opened up. Now, I'm not going to try to bang my brother. He's only my cousin. It's not that bad anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing. I think Ira kills Cersei with Jaime's face.
I'm just going to say that,
I'm sorry, Margo.
That's a great one. That's a great one. I didn't think about that.
I'm sorry, Marco. I suck.
Well, that means Jamie's gonna die. That means Jamie's gonna die.
Brian Tardy says Arya at free safety. Hashtag get it done, Dave.
Oh yeah, well yeah, definitely over Bethea.
Free safety, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
She could definitely get.
I'm gonna tell you right now, though. I like the fact that they're talking about Love going to free safety. By the way,
I'm Ira Stark of Winterfell, and I'm going to play free safety.
for the Giants of House New York.
What do we say to the wide receivers that want to get open? Not today. Who gets open, Ira? No one.
Game of Thrones is so good, man.
It's so good.
The great thing is that they can go so many different ways, and we're all going to be at the edge of our seats, like, oh my god.
Do you think that George R. R. Martin is going to throw a curveball?
Yes.
And
he's not doing
like,
anything at this point.
And he just totally changed the book from like the last book from.
Yes, I think that he's going to take immense. He seems like the type of guy that's going to take great and immense pleasure in destroying what HBO did.
Well, the fact,
the
fact is, in the books, the dire wolves are way bigger in the stories. Supposedly, the rumor was Jon Snow and Arya were going to have a relationship, and Arya was supposed to play even a bigger factor than she is now.
Mm-hmm.
Do we get the Clegane Bowl this weekend?
Yes, that's already.
Yeah, who's getting the game ball this weekend?
Most kills.
Who gets the game ball?
Who gets the game ball for this past episode, and who gets the game ball for? Who do you predict gets the game ball for next?
The game ball for this past episode. The game ball for this past episode goes to Ghost, who didn't even get a fucking pet on the ear goodbye with his face all fucking torn up and an ear missing.
John sounds like deuces.
Yeah, like Ghost gets the fucking game ball for last week.
I've been following this guy for years. He won't even pet me.
Yeah, I came back to fight these dead motherfuckers. Like I could have been in the rough banging some wolflet. And this is what I got to deal with.
That's a good call.
I think the game. Here's my game ball. My game ball for this next episode is going to the Hound as my prediction.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Hound kills the Mountain and does something very heroic to sacrifice himself for maybe Ira or something else. I don't think the Hound makes it, but I think he beats the Mountain. I think he kills the Mountain.
He's going to beat the Mountain. They've been foreshadowing that for like 3-4 seasons.
And maybe he goes down in the fight. Like maybe they both die, but
yeah, it takes him out.
I'm hoping that the Clegane Bowl is vicious.
Yeah, there's really not that many players now that you think are gonna,
Are we seeing
that are worthy of a game ball?
This could be. Like, do you think we're seeing some more? I think we have to see some more wildfire, right, before the series ends. Like, you got to give me some more wildfire before the series ends.
What?
Yeah. I want to see some fucking green explosions.
See, the thing that I don't understand is if you're Daenerys, wouldn't you be like, okay, dragons, I got 3 of you. Let's get to fucking. Let's get some eggs coming out here. We'll light some fire. We'll get a few more of you guys.
How about this, guys? How about we wait for Jon Snow to get there and not show up with 20 people in front of the castle?
It's I saw a rumor today that there's more dragons.
It's just in hidden.
I don't know where they would come from. I can't even
they're
imagine.
Scream out like a gang.
I don't, dude. Like if you're looking for a rhyme or reason behind it, like I don't know. I know that I'm online and I'm reading this shit, and I saw there was multiple articles today that said there's a theory that I guess there's another dragon coming, that there's a possible another dragon coming. So like who the fuck knows? Would you be surprised?
No.
Would you be, at this point? Like they could do anything at this point.
I'm going to give my game ball to the elephants that show up in this episode. They threw that out there.
Let's hope they come. Are the Lannisters warming on anybody?
What do you mean?
I'm becoming quite fond of the Lannisters.
The whole crew?
Almost to the point where, like, I'm almost... Like, Daenerys has gotten on my nerves a little bit. And I'm almost rooting for Cersei to fucking light them all up with wildfire.
I'm not going to lie. Cersei, when she blew up the castle in the end of the one season, or a couple seasons ago,
I was
like,
villain.
Damn, she is badass.
I don't...
When
like,
she
the
killed all
villain
the
sometimes
Tullys,
is fun.
it was like, oh, you guys all go to the castle. I'll be there in a second. Fucking just kill everybody.
Just blow them all up.
Yep. That's a little bit.
I think she's gonna lure them in, and then try to wildfire it up.
She's gonna wind up on the throne. I don't think.
Wouldn't that be a mind fuck?
I don't think it's a happy ending. I think she's gonna be on the throne since like season 2.
Man.
There's no way that Cersei doesn't die.
She has to die.
She has to die. She is too bad a character. That's like when that Ramsay dude was going. You knew there was no way he wasn't dying.
Do you think she's pregnant?
Yeah.
You do?
Do you think she's just faking it?
Well, you know what I find weird is that she, if you remember at the end of last season, she turned down the wine and Tyrion realized that she wasn't pregnant.
You think she's just playing the game?
Tyrion realized that she was pregnant. She turns down the wine, and he's like, "You're pregnant," right? Well, in this season, if you remember the scene where she bangs Euron, she's drinking wine, right?
She don't care. One glass a day is fine.
Well, all right, okay. Maybe that's what Qyburn told her. I'm just throwing it out there. I try to look into this shit.
Totally fine.
You know, Qyburn seems like that kind of maester where you might recommend some alcohol.
Good for the blood pressure.
Here's another pretty cool rumor I saw. Right, so that guy Qyburn, who's her maester, right? That little rat-looking fuck. I guess if you were go back to like season 1 or 2, like I guess Robb Stark found him at like a castle left for dead, and it was the Lannisters that like destroyed the people in the castle and went in there and killed everybody. So I saw another rumor that Qyburn's actually playing the other side and is gonna like pretty much betray.
Really? And which one's Qyburn? Is it like
Qyburn's her maester. He's the guy that brought the mountain back to life.
Okay, yeah, the old guy.
Yeah. So I saw something
Who met Tyrion.
He was saved by Robb Stark, and it was the Lannisters that left that killed everybody and left them for dead. It was by order of the Lannisters, and maybe it was the Boltons that did it, or the Lannisters did it, but the Lannisters were involved, and now he is playing the long game to fuck Cersei over.
Wow, that's a good rumor. That's good.
That's a pretty good one too.
That's good intel.
It's a pretty good one too, right there.
Listen, guys, we have scouts on the field on this one.
And
I'm gonna tell you right now, the game ball for next week is gonna be the Unsullied, the guy whoever the hell the Unsullied guy is.
Grey Worm.
Yeah, Grey Worm's gonna kill everybody.
He's gonna
have a body count. You're gonna find how many good-looking girls you're gonna find that are gonna love him with no junk.
Well, depends on your tongue.
It's on. He's killing everybody.
Yeah, he's gonna. Yeah.
I mean, he could probably find chicks. I don't know if they're gonna be hot as the one as he had. Is the problem?
Yeah, she was pretty badass.
That's my other gripe with the series. Daenerys started off like she was just wearing basically a loincloth in season 1, and in season 8 or 9, whatever it is, she's in a military outfit.
Yeah.
You know who I miss? I miss Queen Marjorie. That was my one.
Yeah, she was she's up there.
That was my girl. Queen Marjorie.
Oh, that's the Tully from the Tully girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seriously took care of that.
Yeah, I know, bitch.
It was a boss move. I mean, it was just a fucking boss move. You had to respect it.
Move.
Yeah, Rob Starflight was pretty hot too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's for way seasons back, pre-Eli era.
That is.
That's Red Wedding.
So I think we broke down everything we could possibly.
I think we've taken it to the limit tonight.
Yeah.
It's as far as we can
I think
go.
this is the biggest breakdown of Game of Thrones we've ever had.
That's pretty in-depth right there. That's the biggest.
Well,
let's get to the end.
Brian Darney, I think he's right. The Hound burns the mountain alive.
Oh, good shit.
Good.
All right.
This is some great info, great intel, great Giants breakdown. All right.
All right.
Let's play another
Gentlemen,
day, gents.
next week,
Big Blue.
definitely we'll be talking to you earlier than that. Everyone, thank you for listening in. 50-50 podcast, half Giants, half everything else. That was pretty funny.
All right.
Peace out, people.
Later.
Yeah.